And in the Impact segment tonight, President Obama speaking to West Point graduates about America's role in the world.
By most measures, America has rarely been stronger relative to the rest of the world. Those who argue otherwise, who suggest that America is in decline or has seen its global leadership slip away, are either misreading history or engaged in partisan politics.
The president then went on to say that America will take unilateral military action when threatened, but he'd rather have our allies join in. Joining us from Washington to assess the speech, Fox News strategic analyst Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters. And I do want to tell the audience we have some breaking information about the VA scandal that I want you to react to after that. So I thought the speech was a little slow. It wasn't. He didn't seem to be fully engaged with the cadets, the graduating West Pointers. And your assessment?
Well, I seem to be having trouble with the teleprompter, but you know, it was an absolute exercise in self-adoration. The bit you just played about America's in most respects, America has been relatively strong. Blah blah blah. Look, America is perceived as weaker because of Obama's lack of leadership. And then when he said, well, we will take unilateral military action, he immediately qualified it by saying, but we must be nearly certain there will be no civilian casualties.
Right. He doesn't have any heart for it, obviously. Now, you said that we're perceived to be weaker around the world, and I agree with you 100% on it. But we're not really weaker. We still have a massive military machine, our nuclear arsenal, and there's nobody really on Earth who could compete with us militarily, is there?
Well, no, but when you are weakly led, you are weaker. And Bill, I just found some of the claims in this speech absolutely fantastic. First of all, yesterday and today, Obama keeps saying, I've ended 2 wars. Well, that's great. You know, we could have ended the Second World War in 1942 by surrendering to the Japanese and Germans. It's how you end the wars. In Iraq, he threw away the advantage we'd gained in blood. In Afghanistan, I agree we want a much smaller presence, but you don't tell the Taliban, hey, we'll be all gone in 2 years. And then the worst part of the speech, the shameless part for me, I couldn't believe it when I heard it, was when he claimed that American leadership has provided success in Ukraine. I mean, as he was speaking, Putin was pouring special operators, hired mercenaries, and weapons across the border into eastern Ukraine, which is bloodier than ever. I mean, and by the way, you know what? All that stuff about, immigration on our southwest border, in that whole speech, he did not mention Latin America a single time. I mean, it was appalling if you really listened to it.
All right. Turning to the VA scandal, an Inspector General's report today says the Phoenix allegations are true, that there were veterans denied care, that waiting lists across the country, not just in Phoenix, can last as long as 115 days. So all of the allegations, it seems, against the VA run out of Washington are true. You've been supporting Shinseki. I have called for him to resign. You say no. You going to stand by that?
Absolutely. Bill, I'll ask you the same question I ask everybody else. You want Shinseki gone? Give me the name of the person who's going to replace him.
You.
And yeah,
you. No, I'm not putting you in charge, Peters.
You need somebody who's run.
Ralph Peters.
Yeah,
and I'll get the guy up in Maine, Hunt, and he'll go with you.
You need somebody who's run large organizations, but beyond that,
come on, look, you know a commander. If a commander is embarrassed like that, the commander is replaced. You know that. So Shinseki, maybe it's not his fault. It doesn't matter. Under his watch, this is chaos. He goes. Bring in new blood.
The VA, I'm convinced the VA will never have a better, more dedicated leader than Shinseki. But, Bill, let me use this great platform you've built to talk directly to Congress, Democrats and Republicans alike. Stop playing politics with this issue. It's about our vets. It's not about your re-election or election campaigns. And, by the way, blame Shinseki. Congress holds the purse strings. Congress refuses to reform the civil service regulations that allow this to happen. Congress is supposed to exercise oversight of it. And instead, you have somebody like Senator Burr from North Carolina attacking the VFW because they won't call for Shinseki's resignation. And by the way, I don't think Senator Burr ever served in the military. Congress, you're a disgrace.
All right. Now, I'm not going to stick up for Congress because they did have oversight. It's like Barney Frank had oversight on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and Congress booted it too. But I think Shinseki's got to go. But this is a very lively debate, Colonel. We always appreciate you coming on. We come right
Thank you,
back.
Bill.
Miller